when you come to see Cal, I think it does not matter who you are. Please do not feel intimidated if you know nothing about the world of Batman or anything about any of the characters. I think as an audience member, you're going to come and you're going to see a group of people that are working through issues that we all struggle with, that we all feel compelled by. We are going to raise questions as to how, in these moments when we lose things and we lose people and when we lose sight of how to keep going and how to keep working through, that's when true, breakthroughs are made. That's when sometimes discoveries are made where the breakdown of what's good, what's evil, what's right, what's wrong, what drives us, what's dividing us kind of blurs, and what happens when we enter that sort of in-between space. This year, as a part of my associate artist journey, my first year as an associate artist here at Dance Hub SA, in tandem with my residency, my share house residency at Karklu with my wonderful co-curator, artist, partner in crime, Fern Mines, we set out to create a double bill season called At a Mansion in the Dark. The hope was to create a performance-based development project that allowed a large team of dancers to come together, create 2 dance works and present them with a performance-based outcome after 3 to 4 weeks of rehearsal and tech and creative melding and collaboration. And we saw it as a necessity here in South Australia, as we both want to champion SA artists and we both want to champion the incredible upcoming talent and the future innovators here in Adelaide, here on Kaurna country. And so it was very, very important that we created a program that allowed our voices to be heard and allowed other institutions and major creators here in Adelaide to stop and listen and see that there is a whole whirlwind of people that are waiting to take the step into the forefront. The double bill is 2 works. One work, The Quadrille by Fern, who I have been a collaborator in the sonic realm for, and then my work called Cal. And to delve a little bit about Cal, Cal is a whole host of things for me, more specifically about the crux of the work. The work is inspired by the wonderful world of the Batman comics and graphic novels and the characters within, specifically inspired by a graphic novel called Arkham Asylum, A Serious House on Serious Earth, which was written by Grant Morrison. And it's an incredible deep dive into the realm of these characters that answers some very specific questions about what it means to be human and what it means to live in a world where things aren't as black and white as we see them. And the reason I wanted to take not just this book, but kind of the realm of Batman is because I wanted to look at characters that I think have real connotations to the real world and connotations to things that we all feel. And so I kind of assembled a cast of villains and heroes, and none of them are really villains and heroes. They all kind of live in this like Euclidean prison that is sanity, and they break free of that and they live in this void that is driven solely by their compulsion. And we kind of explore how we can relate to that and how we can relate in these extreme forms to some of the themes that kind of creep through. So for me, being an associate artist here at Dance Hub SA is another step for me in validating my practice and validating to other creatives here in Adelaide that I really want to take things that I'm being given and opportunities that I'm being given and give them out to everyone. I'm really adamant on trying to create more motion for the dance sector here, and I want to get to a place where we can have, you know, people in the mid-career stage collaborating with us and joining us and wanting to have us be a part of the conversation. And I think having someone so young as an associate artist, being only 23, and contributing as a part of this cycle, as well as a lot of the other incredible opportunities I've been given this year, like winning the Emerging Artist Award for Fringe for 2023, being a Sharehouse resident with Firm for 2023, going away soon to do some incredible personal development at B12 and Orsolina 28. I feel like I have a duty and a calling to make things like this happen, and I think being at the helm as an associate artist at Dance Hub is a part of that journey. Ideas behind it came from a very long awaited collaboration between me and two of the greatest people that I have in my life, and that is Tom and Oliver Byrne, and they are friends of mine that I've had the privilege of knowing since I was a kid. We met when I was I believe like 12 or 18 months old. Me and Tom became friends at playgroup while both our mums were pregnant with our siblings, which ended up being my lovely sister and Ollie. And me, Tom and Oliver have been an undivided unit for like 22 years now. And one of the things that have centered my admiration for those two has been our love of comics and love of nerdy things, and Batman just has been the pinnacle of that obsession for the three of us for years. So, you know, we've grown up with these stories as the centerpieces of our lives, and I think through these stories we've been able to better understand each other, and we wanted to kind of curate something that we could collaborate on. And when this opportunity came up to do this double bill, we kind of, I turned to them and said, hey, I reckon it's time to do this. I know we've been kind of joking about making a contemporary work about Batman because it's just so absurd. But, you know, we had been joking about it for a while, and I went, no, I think there's legs here, and I think we can actually do this. So Tom's background is Tom is a jazz musician. He's a bass player who plays bass guitar and double bass. And Oliver's background is he is a major in sociology and an incredible writer, and also helps me every now and then with electronic composition. And so we decided that we wanted to kind of build a basis of what we were going to focus on. So Oliver wrote a treatise called The Cow Treatise, which is a 4-page kind of essay that ties the themes of the Batman world to this theory by a philosopher called Schopenhauer. And the theory basically looks at the idea that humans are driven by compulsion, and that without these compulsions, life would be kind of rendered meaningless. And so we wanted to play with those ideas to their extreme, and we felt that this selection of Batman characters that we are kind of inspired by, this selection of character traits, was the way to go about doing this. So we kind of assembled some key things that we wanted to extrapolate from a certain group of characters and gave these traits to specific dancers in the space. And then from there, I took the helm on the choreography and in collaboration with the dancers, created this like language that through these compulsions, these characters, you know, meld and intertwine, and we see these different facets of them. And whether you know the comics or not, I think the stories that each of these dancers are going to bring and represent, I think, is so powerful. And we also have myself collaborating with these two incredible humans on the music, but we will also be performing live in the space as well. So I will be, for the first time ever, debuting my piano playing skills, which is not something I've done out of the comfort of private rooms for many, many years. And Tom is going to be playing the double bass with me. So I think it's this work's theme has been so important in terms of wanting to explore humans and how we operate, which is something for me as a queer creator that I've always been wanting to do, is look at how people act and how people resolve their own tension and conflict. But for me, it's also an exercise in getting to celebrate the relationship of two of my favorite people on the planet. When Taya came into the fold, we started having conversation about Taya live drawing in the space on this set that is currently behind me. And it's basically these massive strips of craft paper that are attached to a tapestry that get drawn on and scribbled on and ripped and thrown, and basically this collection of bits of paper and bits of the mind sort of end up scattering all over the space. And so the collaboration, and even in the way that myself and the dancers have been working, it's been so organic. And I really pride myself on trying to create a really safe and open space for the dancers and for material and ideas and thoughts to go to places that I think otherwise you couldn't go in a situation where you don't have that open communication with your dancers. And so it's made for some really beautiful moments with dancers that I've known for a really long time that have told me like, oh, I've never gotten to do this or go here before. And that makes me really happy that we've been able to foster a space like that. And this time of creation has been really, really difficult for me, going through an immense amount of grief with the loss of my beautiful grandmother, Maria March. This work, I did not mean for it to be, has been a way to tribute a side of myself and a younger side of myself, and also look at themes that are quite heavy, and has been an outlet for me to process things. The beauty of being able to work in this space at this time has been, I've had such an incredible support network around me at all times. I've had an incredible team and an incredible community that I get to come to when things are rough or days are hard, that help me keep going and help me make things that I feel so immensely proud of and immensely grateful to put into the world. I think the most important thing for me as an artist and a choreographer is that I make work that is honouring who I am always, and that honours the people around me that allow me to do what I do. And I feel an immense duty to kind of wear my pride of where I'm from and who I get to be with every day. I get to wear that with pride when I make work. You know, being a South Australian artist is something that is such a joy for me. My future projects as well will be probably about something that I'm passionate about, and then a theme that I'm currently going through. And so I think that's just a continued cycle of me as a choreographer. But I think the thing that I always want to put into the forefront is my love of where I'm from. The purest version of who I am is who I am as a choreographer. And I think if you want to get to know me, you should get to know my work.